Wow, today's pet is a dragonfly. Many of you have been asking me to raise one in previous episodes. For this video, I actually filmed for 3 months, filming its growth from a nymph to an adult dragonfly. It's been quite a fascinating journey. Okay, let me show you how I raised a dragonfly. I checked a shopping site for dragonflies and was amazed to find many nymphs for sale. Oh my god, I got 3 for about $6, such a cheap pet. Ordered right away. 2 days later, my dragonfly nymphs were delivered. Well, it's been really hot lately, and I'm genuinely worried about how my little pets are doing. After all, dragonfly nymphs live in water, and I'm not sure what would happen if they're out of it for too long. My goodness, this is terrible. These little ones have started to rot and smell awful. I can't believe it. Actually, the seller included a few extra nymphs, but unfortunately most of them didn't make it. But hey, 2 dragonfly nymphs actually survived. Alright, now let's get these 2 little guys settled into a new home right away. In this episode, I'll be setting up a paludarium for these 2 dragonfly nymphs. Since dragonflies spend most of their lives in water, they'll need an aquatic environment. But we also have to create a dry area with branches. That's where they'll climb up when they're ready to emerge as adults. The setup part in this episode won't take too long. The real highlights come later in the video. If you want to see how dragonfly nymphs hunt, witness their metamorphosis, and watch adult dragonflies interact with me, please stick around till the end. I spent about 100 days filming this project, and since it's my first time raising dragonflies, this has been really meaningful for me. Now back to the setup. Let's add some plants to this little ecosystem. Then spread some moss over the rocks. Well, the paludarium is mostly set up. Now all that's left is to give these plants a good watering. Finally, we'll fill the bottom with water and add a layer of fine sand and small pebbles. That's it for this step. Now let's take a look at the final setup. Alright, time to introduce our little pets to their new home. Hope they like their fresh surroundings. To tell them apart, I've decided to name them. The greener nymph will be Sam, and the other one Tim. Actually, the greener nymph is in its penultimate instar, while the other has reached its final instar. This means Tim should emerge as an adult within a month. I've got some small fish for Tim and Sam. In the wild, dragonfly nymphs also feed on tiny fish, shrimp, and other small aquatic creatures. Now, let's observe how dragonfly nymphs hunt. Focusing on Tim, he seems to have spotted his target. Like an ambush predator, he darted forward and snapped up a small fish in an instant, incredibly fast. What's interesting is that dragonfly nymphs eat quite quickly. Unlike many other aquatic insects that just suck out the fluids, they actually devour their prey whole. Meanwhile, Sam has caught a small fish too. Without a doubt, they're incredibly fierce aquatic insects. Even after eating a fish, Tim still seemed hungry. Then all of a sudden, he locked onto another target. After a while, they both seemed full and settled down and started exploring their new surroundings. Actually, I've added some branches to this setup to make it easier for them to climb. Over the coming days, I'll be watching how Tim and Sam settle in here. It should be really interesting to observe. Day 18. After some time, Tim hasn't been showing much interest in food lately. I think he might be getting ready for his emergence. To improve his chances of successful transformation, I've added some reed stems to the tank. In the wild, dragonflies often choose such aquatic plants to complete their metamorphosis. Day 28. Tim's coloration has started to change. He should be emerging soon. I spent hours observing him to capture the metamorphosis process. But by 3 a.m., he still hadn't started. I was completely exhausted and had to call it a night. At 6 a.m., I woke up and noticed some droppings on the table. Oh my god, sure enough, Tim had emerged. His wings were still folded and damp. He must have just completed his metamorphosis. So how exactly do dragonflies emerge? A kind insect enthusiast shared some footage with me, capturing the entire transformation from nymph to adult. Truly impressive. Let's take a look. Luckily, I managed to film the moment the dragonfly unfurled its wings. It happened so incredibly fast that even when slowed down 20 times, it's still hard to make out the details. 10 hours later. After what felt like ages, Tim's wings had finally dried completely. And look, this is the skin he shed. It's translucent and pretty amazing. Okay, now it's time for me to interact with Tim. Wow, he's so handsome with his wings glistening in the light. This is my first time getting this close to a dragonfly. It's an amazing experience. At this stage, dragonflies haven't quite mastered flying. They might stay on your hand for some time, so this is the perfect chance to get up close with them. I've set up a large screen cage with some plants for Tim so he doesn't fly away. Let's keep him here for a while and hope he gets used to it. Day 31. It's been 3 days since Tim emerged, so I figured it was time to feed him. I tried offering a mealworm. But it seemed to startle him and he took off right away. So I decided to put him in the net cage for feeding. This time, Tim was quite cooperative and quickly started eating the mealworms. Wow, let's take a closer look at how dragonflies eat. With their powerful mouth parts, they can quickly devour a mealworm. Its appearance is truly impressive, undoubtedly one of the best-looking insects out there. In the wild, dragonflies typically live near water sources. When kept indoors, their enclosure needs to be misted regularly for moisture and they can drink from the droplets. Day 35. After spending some time with him, I've come to feel that adult dragonflies are not well suited for long-term indoor keeping. I've decided to release it back into the wild. I offered Tim a roach as a final meal, but he did not seem interested. Before saying goodbye, let me give Tim one more mealworm. He really seems to have a soft spot for these soft, juicy worms. Indoors, the limited space makes it impossible for Tim to hunt effectively. Since dragonflies typically catch prey in midair, returning him to the wild is truly the best option. One last time, let me have Tim here on my hand for a moment. I'll miss you, little guy. Alright, little one, time to go. I'll place Tim into this net cage and release him in a park with water. Well, I'm now at a quiet park where I'll be releasing Tim into this natural habitat. This dragonfly species is native to the area, so it won't harm the local ecosystem. In previous videos, many viewers have asked how to handle such pets. Actually, for native insects that aren't suitable for indoor living, I release them back into nature. Others, I'll keep long-term. Now I'm taking Tim out of the net cage. After all this time together, it's hard to let go. I wonder if he'll adjust to this unfamiliar place. It's not easy to thrive in a completely new environment, but I hope with all my heart that he'll make it. Wow, Tim flew too fast for the camera, vanishing into the sky. It's a beautiful day, best of luck. Day 100. The other dragonfly nymph, Sam, still hasn't emerged yet. It might be due to the cold weather. Can't wait to see it transform. Okay, that's all for today's story about raising dragonflies. We have more pet videos in the works. Thanks for watching.